Good afternoon, folks. It's kind of a late fall, early winter day here in central Ontario, Canada. Today I'm going to do a little bit of trail building and I'm going to make my way down that way towards the mini excavator. Now where I'm standing at is the part of the forest that I don't often visit with you folks because I don't have access trails. So it's pretty dense in there. It's pretty wet, but I've got tools I think that'll allow me to get a trail built. That's that mini excavator. Now before we get started here, I wasn't entirely sure whether I was going to document this because I am not very good at the mini excavator. I just got it not all that long ago, and so I don't have a ton of experience with it. And so this will be a slow go for sure. But nonetheless, I got to learn sometime, and so that is going to be today. Now what you see here, this little area, it used to look sort of like that. I cleared just a little bit of an area until it started to get downhill and wet. I cleared this area with a tractor, and I did that last year. Fast forward a little bit, I just drove down here just a moment ago, and if you have a look at the terrain, it starts to drop off real quick here. Probably doesn't seem that steep in the video, but it's quite steep here. So this was getting too steep for the tractor. So what I decided, with the mini excavator being a new piece of equipment around here, I'd put it into action here today. And so I got my way down to this point. I'm at the point now where I'm gonna head off that direction. But in order to do that, I took out this dead tree here just a minute ago. You can see it. And I got to fill in this little bit of a ditch here. So I got to clear all this debris, and then the trail is going to make its way down that way. And if you have a look around, just take a scan. This is a very wet area. As you can tell, anytime it gets windy, we have blowdown. See the trees there laying? The roots basically just lift right up. Eventually this area will get overtaken by these young spruce. And all these balsam fir that you see, they're going to probably blow over, die out, and so I'm going to take them out. And I want to make sure I have an access trail to do so. So that's what I'm going to get underway doing here today. And as I said, the terrain through here is pretty harsh. Like, see all the hills and dips and wet spots? There's a little spring over here as well. And so in order for me to get access through here, I got my work cut out for me. Just have a look in here. Quite a while ago, we were in here in the winter time taking out a bunch of trees with the Lewis winch, and I couldn't actually get a heavy piece of equipment in here, and that's why the Lewis winch was in here. So I'm hoping coming down there, we'll shoot straight through here, we'll smooth this out, and then eventually I'll go to the right, and eventually I'll go to the left. I want to get a trail down there and the other way. So that's pretty ambitious, I would say, especially for a rookie operator. But as I was saying a moment ago, there's no better time like the present than to learn. You just got to go slow and obviously make sure you're being safe. It wouldn't be that difficult to tip a machine like this on its side. So welcome back. Here we go. There we have it, folks. There's my little adventure out with my Takeuchi TB15, my mini excavator. You can see it at the bottom of the hill. I was down in what I call the flats. It's sort of a wet area on my property. I don't have any dedicated trails down there because it is so wet, and well, there's a ton of trees that have to be cleaned up and a ton of stumps that have to be taken away. And so I haven't had a chance to get down there with any equipment that can actually navigate the wet, low-lying area. I tried to build a trail down there at some point in the past with my tractor, and as you can see, I opened up this area, and then I got to right about where that jerry can is, and at that point the tractor couldn't go any further because I was struggling to back up this hill with the wet soil. So fast forward, here we are today. I've got the mini excavator down here, and this is one of my first goes with the mini excavator in a wet wooded area like this. One thing I'm finding, that is the ticket for trail building. Up till this point, I've typically used manual labor, my tractor, maybe a hand winch from time to time, and a chainsaw. This thing is the ticket. As I said, you get this thing down here, it's nice and stable, and because it's tracked, it gets a ton of traction. And having the front what do you call it, bucket there allows you to move all the debris out of the way, pick up soil, put it where you need it, and then I'm using the blade on the front of the machine there to smooth things out. So very happy with this. And if you're not familiar with this, this is a relatively new item for me. I bought this, so I don't know, couldn't even tell you, several months ago, maybe a year ago or so. Takeuchi TB15, completely mechanical, no electrical parts to it, no computers that I have to worry about. This is about a 1.5 ton machine. This thing, real nice engine on it, nice Yanmar. Let's see if we can get it open there. So nice Yanmar engine, 3-cylinder diesel, and as I said, about 1.5 tons. Works very well for me. So I had this down here clearing away the debris that's never been touched before, flattening things out as you saw. And I'm not an expert operator by any means, so this was quite the feat. I was trying my best to keep the machine stable, making sure I don't tip it one way or another, using the blade for stability. I was also having to be careful because there was a lot of hidden dangers. There's a lot of like little knolls here, as you'll call it, or ruts, and well, little holes in that, and stumps and sticks, and it was causing the machine to do all kinds of stuff. So I had to take it slow. But overall, I'd say it worked out pretty well. The trail comes down that hill, as I mentioned, by the mini excavator, hooks around here to the right, and that'll give me access to all of this area. And then it continues on and it heads down that way. So this trail I'll continue building off of. This just gives me basic access at this point. And I guess, as they say, once you have the right tools, anything's possible. Now I just got to be a better operator. I was completely focused on safety. And so if you are a operator by day or an operator by night, you're probably better than I am, but that's okay. I'm still learning. At the end of the day, I got the job done. Had some fun out here, and I'm safe. Win-win. As I said, I'll build a trail that continues on that way. I want to connect with an existing trail in the woods that way, but it's extremely wet down here. All these stumps you can see here, this is where I've been in here when trees have snapped or blown over, and I've trimmed the trees off to try to salvage the lumber. What's going to be left in here, besides just a few balsam fir, is there's going to be, well, a cherry or two, but mostly hemlock, a lot of spruce, and then we get some white pines along the perimeter. So that'll probably take over the forest down here once the last of the balsam fir blow over or snap off, because they're not exactly the most heavily rooted trees. Those blew over recently. Those are balsam fir. You can see them all here. They're just piled up. So having an access trail is nice. I can get down here at some point, clean all this trees up, and who knows, maybe make it into some nice lumber. So that's it for me here today. I appreciate you all watching. If you have a machine like this yourself, or maybe you operate one for a day job, I'd love to hear about it. Put those comments down below. And as always, make sure you get outside, enjoy nature. Take care. Be well. See you next time.